everyone and welcome back to Weekend Bites with Manya. Hope you all are doing very well. Today we have with us the very skilled and gorgeous model. She has been in the industry for a long time since she was a child and moved her way up to pursuing her dream of becoming a model. Please welcome Ayushi Dholakia. Hi Ayushi.
Hi Manya, thank you so much for the introduction. It was so energized and I think it is something that I really need at this point of time.
You're really gorgeous. It's intimidating, honestly. I love your hair.
Oh, thank you so much.
So tell us about yourself and your journey.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayushi Dholakia, an 18-year-old from the Sanskari Nagari of Gujarat, Vadodara. And I'm currently pursuing my BBA in Media and Communications from Whistling Woods International. Talking about my journey, I've always been the kind of a person who loves to be in front of the camera, to express myself through various forms of art, if I have to say so. Modeling wasn't something that I was, aiming for, or I would say that it was that I want to become a model or this is something that I really wanted to do. All I knew was that I want to be on the stage and perform. I've always been that kind of a person who loves to be on the creative side, and I'm extremely grateful to my mother who actually introduced me to the whole field on the very first place. She enrolled me in my first dance class. She was the person who took me for my first ever beauty pageant. She actually taught me, how you have to pose in front of the camera, and that's how the whole journey has started. And I think over the years, with each and every opportunity that came my way, I've learned and I've become better. And all I like to say that it's been beautiful so far. I've become a better version of myself, and I'm really pumped up to see what the future holds.
Okay. So you started modeling at a very young age, right? How did your journey begin? Like you mentioned, your mother helped you quite a lot in getting into beauty pageants and all. So how was your experience then?
I would say for a little girl, for a 7-year-old, modeling is just posing in front of the camera, or beauty pageants is all about getting all dolled up and walking on the ramp. But once you actually grow up and you get a better understanding, that's when you realize that it's so much more than that. Modeling is just not about camera ke samne aaya and then you smile and it's done. There's so much of pre-work that goes behind, and how much of you need talent, because after all it's an art and that's what you're depicting on the pictures,
right,
and on that platform. So for me, as I said in the start, it was very new. It was completely raw, I would say. But as soon as over the years, I got to know, I learned from my peers, I learned how things work, and I'm a very curious person. So I'm extremely the kind of person who would go on asking questions, who would want to see that, how these things work, why does it happen like that, why not like this. So I think with all those experimental and the curiosity nature, it helped me to explore more, discover myself, and try to experiment with all kind of different arenas of modeling, be it traditional shoots, be it Western shoots, be it concept shoots, because every another arena, every other aspect has something new to offer. So yeah, I think my perception has changed over the years.
But which do you prefer the most in modeling? Like you mentioned, there are so many different aspects to modeling. Which one do you prefer personally?
It's too hard for me to pick, if I say so, because I love to try new things. If one time I've done Western, then I would want to go for traditional. If I've done both, then I would want to go for some kind of a concept shoot, or just a makeup shoot. But this is what I get, that I think I am able to represent myself more, or I'm more good with the traditional outfits, because I don't know, I think it just comes with the love of your country and the love for your Indianness, that it helps me to present it well.
So speaking of India, you've also won the title of Miss Teen International in the year 2019. And also, first of all, congratulations. And how was your reaction then, considering you were the first Asian to win that title in 27 years? It's a big achievement. So how was your reaction to actually being on stage and winning such a big title?
It's an experience that I cherish all my life, and the reaction has I took almost a week to let that feeling sink in, because winning was not something that I was aiming for, I would say. Because for a 16-year-old going to an international pageant representing 1.3 billion people, all I thought for and all I had aimed for myself was to put my best foot forward and give the best performance so that I can make my country proud. Because I don't know, I just felt like if I am going there with so many expectations from people, it's best that I live up to all of those things.
And you did.
Well, yes, with God's grace. And it's just not my hard work, I would say. A lot of people have been behind it, right from everyone who helped me to reach that place, starting from my family, of course, and to all my teachers and mentors. It's just the combined effort of everyone that helped me to reach here. But yeah, I think one good thing that really helped after post my win is that people actually came to know about teen pageants more. And me being the first Asian, the first Indian, the teen culture started to blossom more, I would say. People started to come to know. When I went first for the auditions didn't take place in any city of Gujarat. I belong from Vadodara, Gujarat, so I had to travel to Maharashtra to give just an audition. But since now, a Gujarati girl won, people started to come to know about it. I have seen more participation from my state also. Mm-hmm. So I feel extremely happy that, girls actually going for it. People are getting to know about it. And this year when I went for the national pageant, I saw how many girls took it so seriously and how much heart and soul they put into it. So I really feel very happy to see that kind of a difference. And I think I feel extremely grateful for all the things that I've got from people, the respect, the love, the affection. It can't be expressed in words.
I think people don't look up to, other people in the same field and take inspiration. So I think it's great that you actually started that, since people are following your footsteps and actually participating in these titles.
I wouldn't say following my footsteps, but yeah, I would just say that if people actually get to know about something yeah, I think that would be more than anything that would be my greatest contribution I could give.
Okay. So would you also say that your mother, since she's a fashion designer, I believe, and since she's in the industry, the fashion industry, is that something that helped you, make that push into the industry more?
I can say it. I can definitely say that since more than fashion industry, I would say she's a very creative person. Okay. She always loves to experiment new and different things, and she going into fashion, she doesn't have a fashion background, but just that creative streak and the ability to just seek something new and different and innovative. I think that's what led me to explore that field also. But as I say that it's just not her contribution. My father, he being a doctor, he has always been extremely supportive of the field and the career that I really want to take in, because he truly believes that you always need to do what you love. Because once you start doing things that you actually enjoy, that you actually love, it happens on an auto mode. Nobody has to tell you that you need to do this, or you have to focus on it. Everything happens in auto mode. So I think it's both the values that I've inculcated from my parents and their push, their support, their encouragement that made me into this field.
Okay, that's great. I think it's very important to have that support in life, especially when it's coming to from your parents. It's like a boost of confidence. Okay, I can do it.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the other fields. Other than modeling, what other interests do you have? Like you mentioned dancing.
Yes, so I'm a passionate dancer. I've been dancing since the age of 4, and I'm currently doing my Visharad in the Indian classical dance form Kathak. Dancing is something that I truly love from the core of my heart, and I enjoy doing it a lot. Even in that, I do not like to box myself into one style. I love experimenting all different types of styles and want to keep trying new things. I'm also a sports person. I have been a national level handball player and was the captain of my school handball team. So it helped me to learn the values of leadership, how to be extremely optimistic even during your negative times and take failures in a very positive way. And apart from that, talking is my one true love. I feel that that is something that I can go on and on and on. So I started with my own podcast under the name Curly Tales with Ayushi Dholek on Spotify. So yeah, I love talking about my experiences, about my thoughts, and I feel something that it's unique, or I would say interesting about my podcast is that I like giving my personal experiences, giving a personal experience touch, and then letting people know what I think about that particular thing.
So it's like a self podcast, or do you invite other people on it as well?
Well, I started it as a self podcast, but I recently did one episode with a guest, the youngest entrepreneur of our country, who's Mr. Tilak Mehta. Oh, wow. He's the founder of Papers and Parcels. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I did one guest podcast with him, and I think it did pretty well because, having somebody of your age, of the teen category, doing something such a big and getting to know about their whole journey and their opinions, their ideas, I think it was something nice.
Okay, that's really great. When did you start with your podcast? Is it very recent?
Yes, so I gave myself the 18th birthday gift. So I released on 25th of February this year. Okay. And it was a self-birthday gift to myself that, starting with the own podcast. And it's been around 7 months and I have around 8 episodes and people are liking it. I'm enjoying it to speak. It's not something that I have to. Whenever I feel like I come with a new topic and I feel like talking about it, I record it and I put it.
That's great. That's really great. That's very nice to have something of yourself for yourself.
Yes, so, thank you. Yeah.
Right. So you're also studying communications, right? So what do you want to pursue further? Do you want to pursue modeling? Is that what you want to pursue?
So I always feel that as I said, I've always been open to options. Mm-hmm. Why I chose this field of communications is that since I already said that I love talking, I love being in front of the camera on the stage performing. So as a communication student, I feel I have to more interact with people, know about them, speak to them, and it's about staying with the people, staying in and around people. And you are performing as a person, because even a communication person is an artist and even a performer is an artist. So I find parallels between the two, and that's why I wanted to go in a field which helps me to has some kind of resonance with the artistic field also. And it helps me to become enhance my personality, if I have to say so. So yeah, I am definitely aiming for modeling, and my childhood dream has been Miss India, so that's something that I'm really working on. Okay. And with side, of course, I have communications also. So I love speaking, so maybe a TV host or a radio jockey, something like that.
Okay, that's really great. You love communicating, and these are the fields that you've chosen. The fields you've chosen are great in communication. I think that's really, and especially that you've started your own podcast. That's a boost of confidence that you've given yourself. So
it actually helped me to explore those skills of mine when I started with the podcast. That is this really what I want to do in my life or not?
Okay. So you also mentioned that you also like acting. Is that right?
Yes, I do like acting.
So have you ever participated in any theatre or films or commercials, etc.?
So acting, we usually had these kind of plays in our school that we usually do. I used to be a part of them, and it was not something that I planned to do, that acting I want to do. But when I had these small breaks during my 10th and before my 11th started, there was these long breaks that I had. That's when I actually did acting workshops, and I realized that at every single point of time, learning the skills of acting is just not about playing a role or playing a part. You learn a lot of things even beyond that, and that is something that helps you in your everyday functioning also, or it just helps you to become better. So acting is something I enjoyed. I like doing it because, again, it's all about being in front of the camera,
right?
Stage. So if I have to put it like that, I just love being on the stage. It can be anything. It can be acting. It can be dancing. I mean, if you give me a mic, I might start singing, but I do not give that. Yeah, but I do not give you the guarantee that audience is going to stay if I start singing. Yeah.
No, I think it's great. You should be open to all opportunities, and I think you are open to all opportunities that come your way. I think that's very great to be flexible.
Yeah, I just have this one funda in life that, experiment. At least you have to try once. If you do not try, how do you know that is this going to work for you or not?
Exactly. That's right. Absolutely. Coming back to modeling, if I were to ask you, you've been in the modeling industry for so long. So what are the advantages for you and also the disadvantages that come along being in the industry?
So being in the industry, advantages as a model is that you become very self-disciplined and focused. Because a model's life, you have to manage your time very, very efficiently, because with a model, the call times can be very early. The shoot can go for long hours. You don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when your turn is going to come. So you be very patient. You be focused on the things that you have to do instead of thinking about what the other person will, think about me, or how should I do this. So you just keep focused on your performance. And self-discipline is the way that you follow a schedule. If you have a call time at a particular time, then you know how to plan your things. So these qualities, these attributes, I think you become better with those, and it helps you to polish. I wouldn't say there are any kind of disadvantages apart from the fact that people need to change the perception about models, that modeling is some kind of a derogatory profession, or not something that people, it's safe for women, or people are usually not something that they're supportive of, because maybe it's just that it's not seen at par with the other professions. I think that's, people need to see the profession within another perspective. Right. That's just the disadvantage. Otherwise, on a lighter note, you have to have very rigid diet, and that's something that deprives you of your favorite cravings. And
I think it depends from person to person as well.
Yeah, for the diet part?
For being in the modeling industry.
Yeah, of course it does depend from the person to person. Maybe for some people it might be disadvantage on the way that if they are getting work, if they're not getting work, if they're getting recognized or not. But at the end of the day, I feel that it comes down to your performance, how you have been throughout, and how much passion and drive you have towards it.
Right, definitely. So, you've been in the industry again for so long. Is there any one designer or brand that you would love to work with in the future, or maybe you have already worked with that you've always wanted to work with?
So since I said that I have been into the field, but I started like proper modeling around 2-3 years back, and I was really fortunate to be able to work with one of the best designers from my state. It's Amareen Khan label. I was really happy to work with her. But as I think a model aspirant, I would love and I would want to work for Sabyasachi one day. Again, coming down because I love their traditional outfits, and maybe work for Manish Malhotra, something like that. Of course, be in the big arena, try to just want to experience once, how does that also feel like.
So you mentioned Sabyasachi, they recently did a collaboration with H&M as well. So what is your opinion on that? Did you like the idea of the collaboration?
Well, I know that's a pretty controversial topic to be talking about, because I've seen a lot of people backlashing, but I feel once you are in the field of a business or an entrepreneurial journey, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, all you want to do is to collaborate and to expand. The idea of Sabyasachi, collaborating with a global brand, I think it was something. That's what they did as a brand that they are.
Huge.
And yeah, it was used. And personally, I love the idea of how they, I mean, I saw many influencers how they, you know, portrayed the Sabyasachi and H&M collaboration. I saw so many people, you know, going to the streets and going to their local streets and portraying their fashion. So I love the idea how it was spread and omnipresent at every single place. But at the same time also, I just feel that they need to strike the right balance between their global partnership at the same time also supporting their existing workers and all the partners that they have.
Okay, agreed, absolutely. So on a lighter note, are you, you know, are there any causes or non-profits that you believe in or are a part of?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Any non-profits or causes, volunteering or, you know, for social causes, are you a part of any?
So I am a very strong believer of karma, and I started with my own NGO actually at the age of 14, and it was called Happy Go Happy Club. So firstly, it started with just one initiative of spending time with the inmates of the old age homes. And me and my friends started with a club, and we started with 5, but we went on to become 23. We used to go on and visit them, spend time with them, you know, celebrate festivals, play games, talk to them, just give time to them. And later on, we were very fortunate to be associated with the Rotary Foundation over here, so that helped us to become more concrete and substantial. And then it just not became one cause. We also went on to menstrual hygiene, providing free sanitary pads, and spreading awareness about cleanliness, about traffic awareness.
That's so needed in the country. That's great.
Yeah, so that's how we started. And social cause, I think it's a responsibility as the human being, and everybody has a purpose in their life. I feel my purpose is to give back to the society, because it's because of the society what I have become today.
Yes.
And it has helped become what I am. So I feel that every now and then it's going to be my responsibility that I give back.
Okay, that's really nice, and I really appreciate you doing about, you know, spreading awareness about menstrual hygiene. I think that's very important, especially in the country like India, because not a lot of people are aware about it.
And the problem that I realize, it's just not about the awareness that people don't know. And I've been interacted with women who know that, you know, they have to use sanitary pads, that they're also available, but maybe just they don't feel the need of going out and doing it. They are very much okay with the processes or the products that they have been using, or the kind of thinking that they have had this whole time. It's just about it's about education at the end of the day, you know, educating people with the right knowledge and the right information that needs to be spread.
Right. I wish you best of luck, and I hope you're able to spread a lot of awareness, you know, along with your NGO, and I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.
So lastly, this is a question that I ask everyone. If there was any one thing in your journey that you could change up till now, what would it be?
Nothing, I would say.
Nothing.
I wouldn't change anything. I just feel like life is a roller coaster. You have ups and downs, and whatever experiences you have, it just, you become better with every experience. So whatever I've achieved or whatever I've went through so far, it helped me to become the Ayushi Dholkalia that I am today. And I'm happy with whatever that has happened. Of course, I wouldn't say there have been no regrets, but when I look back at all of those now, it helps me to realize how stronger and a tougher person I am. So from this journey, there's nothing that I would want to change. It's just full of gratitude and happiness that with whatever I've got and received so far.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here with WMH today. You're a very lovely person to interact with, honestly. Thank you so much for being here with us.
The pleasure was all mine. It was really fun talking to you, and thank you so much, Manya, for having me.
Of course. And to everyone else, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you also get to know a lot about everyone we interact with, and also Ayushi along with her, and get to know about their journey. Thank you again, and to everyone else, I will see you next week with another guest. Stay tuned and stay safe. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.